everybody, and welcome to Fundraising Outside the Box with Karen and Joe. My name is Karen Waldall, and I am the team captain for Nucor Steel Decatur out of Alabama. We are the #1 fundraising team in the nation this year. In the past years, we have raised over $4 million for the American Cancer Society.
That's it? That's all you're going to say? I'll take over from there. Hi, everybody. Joe Gillette, and longtime volunteer for the American Cancer Society. My home relay is the Relay for Life of Hope Lodge. I've done it all from, team captain to national co-lead. I am a treasured member of the Top Performers Group. Individually, I've raised over $50,000 in each of the last 5 years as a one-man team. I've been a Grand Club member in 15 different relays, and I'm all about the collaborations. I've been part of a couple of big nationwide collaborations, and I can say on behalf of my partner here tonight, Karen, that we are so excited about this new project, Fundraising Outside the Box with Karen and Joe, where we're going to try to bring some really great fundraisers to life, get them off the paper, give them a little bit of visual, and tell you how to do it, why you're going to do it, and hopefully bring a new entire aspect to your fundraising, to your team, your event, or whatever you're doing.
With us, we have Shelly Sprowski from the West region, and she's going to introduce herself. She's our guest tonight on the show.
I am super excited to be your first guest on your fundraising masterclass. My name is Shelly Sprowski. I am a team captain from the Relay for Life of Thurston County in Washington. I've been a Grand Club member since 2004, back when I relayed up in the Relay for Life of Tacoma. My husband proposed to me there, and I've been a team captain of 2 separate teams, Team Merrill Lynch and Team Connolly's Crew, which is my current team right now. And we are closing in. We're only $10,000 away from a cumulative $1 million in fundraising since 2008. So I'm honored to be here and excited to hear what you guys are going to be talking about.
We just needed somebody to referee between the two of us, because some people think that Karen and I are in competition, which is entirely not true. We do things, I like to think we're both successful, but we do things in an entirely different way, and we are, again, not competitive at all. As a matter of fact, I'm not wearing this shirt tonight.
I knew that was coming up.
Just because it's the only piece of apparel that Karen wants and somehow can't seem to get, even though she is part of one of the, if not the, the largest fundraiser in the country. But
well,
again,
when I asked for it, this pandemic hit, and all of a sudden, the world can't find a coach or, versus cancer or something.
Focus. Focus.
Is that what they told you?
That's what they said.
Anyway, we're real excited about this, and even though Karen and I both kind of grew up through Relay, what we're really excited about is bringing this project and these classes and getting input, not just from the Relay world, but we're really hoping to bring in fundraisers who are interested from Strides, from Determination, from Real Men Wear Pink, from really all the properties of ACS, and really start to transcend the specific events or properties that we all work with. After all, at the end of the day, we're all one big team trying to raise money for the mission, and Karen and I are hoping with this project again to get input and give some input to everybody who's interested in fundraising for the mission.
So for
Can
this,
I add something really quick? One of the things that I've learned from Karen and from Joe is, and I hope that everybody that's listening to this can take that away, is that nothing really is brand new. It's all adapted and adopted and redone to fit whatever your community is. And I've taken ideas from both of these people and done really great things with them, with our team. And things that would work were a completely different team than either of them. And so I think that there's some real good successes that you're going to hear from here, and figure out how you can make them your own. So that's my 2 cents on that. So thank you both.
Oh, that's actually pretty good input, because that really is sort of what the focus is, what this is going to be. Again, we want to feature ideas that come, tonight we're picking a fundraiser that both Karen and I worked on recently, but that's really just for the first show. Beyond this, we really want to put a call to action out there for people to kind of submit their own fundraisers. And then Karen and I will kind of sort through them and pick one to feature on future episodes, talk about how they can be adapted again on a couple of different levels, how they could be scaled up, how they could be scaled down, and really try to pick ones that could be used by anyone, from an individual to a team to an event, and really just, again, broaden how these things can be used.
So after tonight's episode, it's going to be you, the viewer's responsibility to provide us with ideas that we're going to do the next shows on. So again, we picked tonight's fundraiser that we're going to talk about. But from here on out, it's up to you guys to give us ideas and showcase your fundraisers. And then you too can be featured on the show, just like Shelly.
Isn't that amazing? Isn't it amazing that, we left Shelly's name off the title of this this project, and she still managed to talk within the first 2 minutes. But no, but really that's what we want the focus to be. We want to hear from everybody, and again, and then we'll help share some of these fundraisers out. In addition to our broadcast tonight being set up on a YouTube channel, we're launching a Facebook page tonight, again, called Fundraising Outside the Box with Karen and Joe, where we'll do rebroadcast of our episodes. And more importantly, we plan on using that Facebook page as sort of a landing page for again, submissions from everyone. Again, whether it's from relay, strides, determination, whatever floats your boat, we want to hear about it. And we want to kind of make this fundraising community bigger and more real. Again, taking things off paper, giving them dimension, and through demonstration and kind of talking and questions, figuring out a way to come up with best practices that we all really can use day in and day out.
And it's also a place where if you have any questions, like if you're watching the show post the Facebook Live event and you have questions about what we were talking about, that's a great place to put the questions and we'll get back to you.
Right. So if you had a question like, Joe, do you really have that piece of apparel and Karen can't get it? Is that true? And I would answer, of course, yes, it is true.
All right, so let's move right into the fundraiser. So the one we're going to talk about tonight, I'll give you a little bit of origin about where it came from, where we came up with the idea. We were actually on a top performer call talking about fundraising with several of the top team captains from across the country. And we were discussing a fundraiser that my team had done years ago called the 12 Days of Christmas. It was a great fundraiser that we would do every year and raise several $1,000s doing it, where you have 12 different prizes that you give away every single day, a different prize, buy a ticket and you're in all 12. Well, everybody loved the idea, but some of the feedback we got was, well, right now, everything has to be virtual. So shipping is expensive. I can't afford to ship 12 items. I can't afford to secure without being able to get out, too much in the public and ask for donations. It's hard to secure 12 items. So we came up with this great idea of what if we asked each team to donate one item and they're only responsible for obtaining and shipping the one item, but the tickets are sold for the collaboration of all the teams together. And then your ticket can be purchased and win the prizes from the 20 teams that participate across the country.
So the buy-in, and the thing that made this attractive to everybody is, again, the buy-in was pretty simple. It was just one prize. That was all you were responsible for. And then you got the collective benefit of a catalog that really, again, contained, from top to bottom, excellent prizes. I mean, we've all seen raffles where, the first prize is a raffle, watch, and the next prize is a nutcracker. Well, this one, not that nutcrackers aren't nice, but but the point is,
I collect them.
Yes, this spoke of quality from A to Z, and when we were trying to come up again with a concept that everybody could participate in, this is why it kind of clicked. Because at the end of the day, we were all benefiting from really a quality prize catalog.
So the first thing we did was, we had to get commitment from the various teams. And we did set some ground rules. We knew that some states were, against giving away firearms or live animals. And so
Absurd.
So we set some ground rules where, the item couldn't be a local vendors, gift certificate that the rest of the world couldn't participate in. It couldn't be live animals, guns, all that.
It couldn't be something that could actually suffocate in a package. It had to be an animal.
Exactly. Nobody was harmed in the fundraiser. And then we also set, for this fundraiser, we decided to set a minimum limit. Completely up to you if you want to do something like that. We set $100 minimum of the prize that you donated. We also incentivized the teams. If you gave multiple prizes and they were worth more, we incentivized you to do that. So we got the commitment. Everybody submitted what their prize was going to be with pictures and descriptions and value. And we put together the catalog. And then we put it back on the teams to start selling the tickets. Everybody sold the tickets for the same price. And basically we made it a head-to-head competition on who could sell the most tickets. So we actually incentivized the teams with a prize. Whoever sold the most tickets would win a prize.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing that you hit on the head coming right out of the gate, Karen, was by setting a threshold for a minimum value of a prize. We're all fundraising in the virtual world right now, and everybody is kind of getting acclimated to it. But now we're at the point where it's not just a matter of getting on, on Zoom or getting on Facebook and holding a fundraiser. I think it's time. We've all had a little bit of experience. We have to start to bring up the quality of what we're doing, because again, you might get somebody the first time out, you might get in the second, but if you're not presenting quality programs, if you're not offering quality prizes, sooner or later, you're going to start to lose your demographic. So I think maybe one of the most crucial decisions that we made was to set a threshold that wasn't, again, out of control, but at least it ensured that we were going to have a quality catalog once, the ticket sales started.
So we actually had a couple of options for raising the money. We started the fundraiser on the Raise Your Way platform. We basically did this so that we could use their leaderboard functionality. We were able to, we asked each team to log in. In future episodes, we probably will talk a lot about some of the tools we use. But because Raise Your Way is possibly going away, we don't want to get too much into that tool. But a lot of the teams chose not to use the Raise Your Way platform to collect the money. They actually just used their own personal relay team pages to sell the tickets off of.
Right, and everybody worked off the honor system because people also use whatever personal tools maybe are part of their fundraising, whether it was cash, check, Venmo. I mean, we provided opportunities, for offline sort of tallying of the fundraising. So again, another thing that was important here, even though we wanted to introduce people to new ways to kind of fundraise and maybe new applications, we let people choose, again, how they wanted to get it done. So it wasn't just our way, it was Raise It Your Way, or it was the ACS site, or it was cash, or anything else that worked for your fundraising. And again, I think that lack of restriction kind of helped everybody along. So we didn't ask them for too much, even though we did want them to try a couple of different tools.
And just to put it in perspective, we ended up having 17 top teams from across the country participate in the event. And we had 21 prizes that were donated for the catalog of prizes. So I guess this is a great part to bring Shelly into the conversation. She was one of the teams that actually decided to participate because she is a top performing team. She got the option to participate if she wanted. So Shelly, tell us why you decided to participate. What made you want to get in on this? Just tell us about your experience.
I'll be really honest. It came out of stuff that I didn't like happening. We had our major fundraiser, which is an auction timed right around St. Patrick's Day. Last year it was canceled, and we had a lot of stuff that we weren't able to sell. And this seemed like a really perfect fit. It took everybody was like, what are we doing? Why are we taking stuff out of our auction for this? because we were actually having a virtual auction that we just held last weekend. And so we started talking through it, and I said, you know, if we can put some good items in this, I think that the other teams are stepping up as well. And collectively, you know, it's kind of like the sum of the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. And when everybody was working together, it just became a completely different fundraiser than if we had just hosted it on our own. And the thing that I loved was that because there were so many great items coming in from different groups, it was easy to sell tickets because you could win a lot of really different cool prizes. And that was something for us that people on our team really bought into.
And Shelly, you know, so obviously the name of our sort of project here is Outside the Box. Talk a little bit about, again, you know, your team has always been highly successful, as are all the top performing teams that were a part of this. And, you know, no one, despite the pleas of, you know, some geniuses on, you know, as part of this group, really have wanted to take the step to sort of collaborate, despite years of pleas and crying and songs and jokes, you know, just all gone on deaf ears. Because of again, everyone was kind of successful, but tell me how it felt again to really take something that really was outside the box from what you had done with your team for the past number of years.
Well, I think one of the big things, it's a mind shift when you're used to competing with other teams, you know, and in our event, we have a lot of great teams that, you know, the top 10 is really a great look at our community. We don't have anybody that's really close to us, and so we thrive on competition. And so we actually work to compete with these other top performing teams across the nation. So it wasn't a huge shift for us to think, wow, we could work together with them. It was fun, though. I will say the leaderboard was great because the leaderboard kept us motivated. We knew that, you know, obviously, you know, a rising tide raises all ships. And if we could see all of these different teams doing well, it would really encourage everybody to keep selling tickets. And so that was something, you know, when I would communicate with our team about where we were at, the first question, well, how are we doing compared to everybody else? And that was something because we were all working together, but it was something that the competition, you know, and I like to call it healthy competition because it's something where if we all do well, then the greatest beneficiary is the American Cancer Society. So it's not as if something where because I win, you lose, or because you win, I don't win. You know, that is just completely out the window. And this is something where we are able to really participate together and make it better because all of us are participating in it. And once people get to that point where they're like, we can work together. And then they realize how much greater things can be when you're working together towards the same end and using all of that fundraising power, but really that excitement and that momentum together to get everybody moving in the right direction.
So as part of the putting this whole thing together, that was a key to making this successful is you have to get people to report back to you on how things are going, especially if you're using your own relay websites to raise the money. It was crucial that people kept turning in their progress to the person running the fundraiser so that leaderboard could be kept up. Now, people like Joe had issues turning their tickets in, you know, right away. No, that's not
people
true.
like Joe have issues with everything. Why should this be any different?
No, but that was important because that does create that healthy competition where where people see how other people are doing. It's no fun to sandbag that money and then at the very end you come in. So it was important that people turned in that money.
Yeah, I think we all benefited from that sort of carrot, you know, not Karen, but we benefited from that carrot, not Karen, in front of our eyes. And you know, the three of us, you know, listen, we fundraised for a long time. And, you know, when you have goals that you can see and are attainable, I think it fuels you. So I think that was important to see what everyone was doing. We did set an initial sort of collective goal of
$20,000.
Was $20,000, and in the end we did
like 50-some thousand.
50-something thousand in a month. So again, this was fueled really with what Shelly was saying and what Karen is saying. Friendly competition, eyes on the prize, a definable start, middle, and finish to the campaign, which is always important. We kind of, you know, centered it around a Super Bowl Saturday night. So we had all the prizes or all the goals I think were out in front of us and the means to communicate it. And I think that's what fueled everybody as we got into those last, 10 days or so. Everybody was watching the leaderboard, and people were jumping, and it really kind of blew our goal out of the water, and it was really just an incredible result.
And I think one of the cool things about this fundraiser is, I mean, we were literally across the country. I mean, there were people competing from California, Florida, Alabama, New York. I mean, we were spread across the country, but it was done completely virtual. We never had to, there was no need to ever have to be together for any reason. Even when we did the drawing, we did it on a Zoom call where, everybody who wanted to come and join us and watch could watch. But we didn't have to be together. I mean, we did this completely virtually, and $50,000 completely virtually in a month.
Right, and not only did everybody benefit from again this terrific package of prizes that we put together, from promotion and from social media, people benefited from other participants doing it. So I think, again, on a couple of different levels and layers, it really became a huge collaborative, success, and really a lot of fun to do.
And all the teams, all the teams that participated are asking, when are we going to do this again? When are we going to have another one that we can share out? So very successful. So let's talk a little bit about how we can take this fundraiser, because not, everybody is a top performing team and has a group of top performing teams that that they can collaborate with. What do you think we should, how can people scale this down to make it fit their needs?
Yeah, I think this lays into really what I think is maybe one of the main purposes, again, of this project. Sometimes you hear of a fundraiser and who does it, and the extent that they do it. And a lot of times the first reaction is, wow, I'll never be able to do that. I can't get this together. I can't do this, or I don't have access to those type of prizes or those type of donors. So I think what Karen and I and Shelly tonight as our guests are going to try to do is, again, take something that maybe looked like a huge national project and come up with a couple of suggestions on how you can do it, again, no matter what level you're looking to do it at. And that's why we thought this fundraiser was a particularly good place to start, because it is something that we think we can scale up if we had to, but more importantly, scale down.
And I think, looking at the structure across the country of Relay for Life events or Strides events, and to me, this would be a great fundraiser to do within your own personal event. I mean, if you have a Strides event, have all of your individual teams or runners be that top performing team and provide an item. Or if you're in a relay event, have all of your teams, donate a prize. So you can keep it, you could even keep it local if you wanted to, and just have your local teams participate. But there's no reason, I mean, the Facebook world, the social media world, there are tons of teams out there collaborating and looking at each other's fundraisers. There's no reason you can't get, random John who's, 2 states away to participate in your fundraiser.
Who's that? Random John?
Yeah, Random John. I met him last week.
She didn't say Random Joe. She
No,
said Random John.
I know Random Flynn, but I don't know Random John. Yeah, Karen, I think, and again, I think you're right on the money that this could be brought down to the event level, but I even think we could bring it down, scale it down even one more level, and it could be a great team fundraiser if you have, quite a few members. Again, all you're going to really do is shift around maybe what the threshold or the value of the prize is. But again, any kind of structure, whether it's a team, an event, a region, or with Random John, I think the guts of this work. It's the concept. All you're doing is really adjusting, again, maybe value and scope. It would work great as if you have a school district as part of your event or of your region. You could see this, between school grades or school classes. So a little league, a sports league, anywhere where you have that sort of team structure, everybody just kind of gives their one piece of the puzzle, and then know what, a month later, you have this grand effort, and again, really the sky is the limit on what you can do here.
And, we talk about that leaderboard being so important, and it doesn't have to be an electronic leaderboard that does it for you. I mean, when we did our Cycle the South event, we kept a leaderboard of miles. And all I did for that was keep a spreadsheet. And then every other day I would take that spreadsheet, take a picture of the leaderboard on that spreadsheet and post it to our team page. So you don't have to have some electronic gadget to tally it. We're going to figure out a way to do it without Raise Your Way. But until we do, there are non-electronic ways of getting that information out to the public.
Yeah, you could even call up Random John and ask him to call all the random participants to give them daily updates. So, John is, we do call him random, but he is really very useful, and he could play a crucial part in your implementation of this sweepstakes idea.
I think one of the things that I would recommend, and my teammate Mary Hallett is very good at this, she always says, procure what you want to buy yourself, or what you'd want to get yourself, because then there's at least one person that's going to go after it.
Yes.
But it's really like, if it's something that's been discarded by someone else and you're like, but I need a prize, that's not your prize, okay? Pick something that you would want yourself, because if you want it, most likely others would want it too. And that increases the chances of being able to sell a solid amount of tickets when the quality is up, no matter what the price point is.
You know what, Shelly, not that I'm going to promote myself tonight, because I never do that. But, that's as you know, that's my kind of whole theory about fundraising is, and Karen does the same thing. We don't kind of fundraise off stuff that we don't know about or comes from left field. We kind of operate in the core of things that we like to do, or things that are familiar in our communities. And then we figure out ways to make them fundraising. So that's a great point, in keeping up the quality of whatever your prize package looks like. Again, quality is important, and quality will give you credibility and a long-lasting reputation. So when you do this, and then it leads into other fundraisers, people are going to say, you know what, that was a real deal, and I want to be part of it.
Yep. Agreed.
All right. So anything else you want to add about this fundraiser, Shelly, that you noticed, or how awesome the organizers were, or
Okay. Well, the first thing I want to say is, when we had the pivot has been our big word this year. We pivoted a ton of different things, but I will tell you, it took a little while to get people on board for what we were doing. But once they saw it coming together, they got excited. And so I would say, don't get discouraged when you're first starting out and you're trying to get people on board and trying to get people motivated. Keep going forward and keep a positive attitude as you go, because people will pull off of that, and they will be able to start to see it once they see what the vision is and where that's going. So I'd really encourage you to do that. I would also encourage you, when, this is about fundraising outside of the box, think outside the box for, give people ideas on where they could go get things. If they can't just go buy something to donate, who could they ask and how could that happen? Different ways. If it's someone that's got a lot of great skills in creating something or doing something, or they might get an employee discount on something based on where they work. There's a lot of really great ideas to be able to gather things in there that you might not think about. And finally, I would say, go ahead. Go.
I was going to say, with places to find different prices here in Brooklyn, we just follow the Amazon delivery guy, and when he drops stuff off on the neighbor's porch, we grab it and we use that for raffle prizes.
That is not a true statement. Don't listen.
That is not anything we can do.
That is a joke. Do not share that with the authorities.
We're already banned.
We only did it once.
We're going to get banned.
We only did it once.
But to feed off of what Shelly said, I would, recommend you go out and ask your local businesses. There are a lot of people who have products that they're selling that they want to get out there and want recognition for. We have a guy at the mill that we found out during our fishing tournament that he makes some fishing boat thingy that is really popular, and we never knew. We asked him, he was willing to donate one. I don't know anything about fishing, but
it didn't go like that. When you say thingy, you got to go like this.
But anyway, it never hurts to ask. I mean, the worst thing that can happen is someone's going to tell you no, and then you're right back where you started.
Yeah, and these days with businesses struggling to maybe give cash donations, this is a great opportunity to maybe avail yourself of what we would call an in-kind donation, and in lieu of a cash donation that maybe a business can't do. So absolutely.
Agreed.
All right, so Shelly, tell us how did your team do?
We did well. We sold more than $10,000 worth of tickets. We donated, the items we donated were worth $350. So we had a $100 gift card, I think Costco, and a $250 Amazon gift card. I will tell you that we normally use those in our auction. So we sell gift cards for face value, and then we play the heads or tails game for like a $500 Amazon gift card. And so we would have been capped out at just about $1,500 for what we make on that. So when my teammates realized we just made $10,000 in fundraising compared to the $1,500 that we would have normally made, it was a huge eye opener in terms of, oh my gosh, we can see these things in different light. And if we have to pivot, we can. And we know that we just need to trust the process a little bit more while we're going. So we ended up as the #1 team, not that we're competitive or anything. And I
really
did
cares,
beat Joe, so I
Shelly.
just want that to be known. But the big thing for us is that it kept our momentum moving forward. We had our virtual auction last weekend, and Karen was a huge encourager. So both Karen and Joe have just been really pivotal to us in terms of helping us reframe how we see fundraising, because we've done a lot of the same things for 10 or 11 years and had a lot of success with it, but we've been really forced to change how we're doing things to stay relevant and to do it when we can't get together in big groups. So I'm really grateful to both of you.
Would you say, Shelly, that you're starting to think outside the box?
I am starting to think outside the box.
I love it.
I see what you did there. And
I love it, which
yes,
which is really a perfect segue into kind of our wrap up now, and this is really what Karen and I want this to be about. So this is calling all volunteers, all ACS volunteers, again, whether you're relayer, stride, determination, real men, whatever it is, we want to hear from you. We want to hear about your fundraising. We're setting up our page tonight. Our Facebook page is facebook.com/ACS fundraising. Imagine that was
It's
forward slash. No, forward is this way. Whatever.
No, I'm in IT. It's a /.
Oh, excuse me. Karen is in
/.
IT. So it's facebook.com/ACS fundraising. And again, we'll have our replay of tonight's show. We'll share some of the materials from the Top Performers Fundraiser, the sweepstakes, some graphic ideas and some flyer ideas. And more importantly, we want that to be, again, the landing page for your ideas. A brief summary about what you do, how you do it, something about the results that you've had. And then after that happens, me and Karen are going to take all those submissions and feature one of your fundraisers on the next episode of Fundraising Outside the Box.
This is perfect.
This is just perfect.
Thank you all. Thank you, Shelly, for joining us tonight. Although
thanks for the invite.
Looking out your back window, it looks like it's still daylight there the whole time.
It is.
We'll go out and enjoy the evening, and thank you all for joining us.